Hey guys, sorry I can't be here today, and tomorrow I'm going to be at an art teacher conference learning how to become a better art teacher for you guys, so I'm really excited. But we're going to be studying Renaissance artists from all over Europe, mostly Italy, and today we're specifically looking at Leonardo da Vinci, who's very famous for painting the Mona Lisa. Now this was kind of my template that I cut out. You see I cut out her face and her hands, and everyone's going to get a copy of her face and her hands, and you're going to glue or cut out, sorry, not glue yet, you're going to cut out her face and her hands, and you are going to glue it onto a blank sheet of paper that has your name and class code on the back. If you put it on the front, you're going to end up having it being covered by your Mona drawing, and that's not what we want. So since this is Blue Group B-54321, depending on which grade you are in. So your name and class code is a must. Once you have your name and class code on the back of your paper, you're going to start cutting out your Mona face and hands. Once you cut out your Mona face and hands, I would recommend using the Elmer's white glue. You're more than welcome to use a glue stick. It's not going to be as strong of a hold, but I would recommend using this. Remember, the trick is to open till there's a gap. Sometimes you kind of have to wipe the little glue boogers off the top. Sometimes you have to give it a little shake, and then it should start coming out. If it's not working, try a different bottle. If you've tried all the bottles in the room, then it would be a good time to ask for help. So when you glue down your Mona face and hands, it might look something like this. Now notice I left them fairly close. There's just a little bit of a gap here. It wouldn't make much sense if the Mona face was up here and the hands were down here. They need to be mostly in the center and pretty close together. So at this point, I'm going to start adding details to her. Now, a pretty good starting point for details would probably be some shoulders off of her neck, kind of like that. And then I'm going to start to kind of connect where her arms go. So I'm going to start to build kind of like some elbows for her. So you get an idea of her body there. So she has some shoulders, some elbows to connect her hands. Now this is where your creative mind comes into play. I notice like her fingers are a little cut off, so I'm going to add some fingers for her right there. I noticed that her fingers got a little cut off, so I'm going to add some fingers so she looks kind of normal. I think I'm going to make her, I'm going to reimagine her, and I'm going to parody her as an art teacher. So I'm going to kind of model her, of course, after me. So she's going to have some lovely glasses. I think I'm going to give her a top knot, of course. Here, got some hair for her so far. Maybe I will give her an apron, just like I like to wear. Maybe I'll make it my Starbucks apron so that people will know it's supposed to be me. And really the whole point of this parody is to take somebody important from history, the Mona Lisa, and give her a different type of importance. So is she an important athlete? Is she an important politician? Is she an important actor, actress, or character from a play or a story or a movie? And so you're just kind of flipping history a little bit and turning it into something fun and kind of silly. So it's supposed to look real goofy. I notice she doesn't have any ears, so I'm going to give her some ears too. Once I'm all done with my person, like drawing my person, so this is what I have so far. Her arms, gave her an apron, gave her hair, maybe I'll have her holding a paintbrush down here. That is my favorite type of art making, is painting. Give her a paintbrush to hold. You need to start thinking about the background too. So just having Mona reimagined is not good enough. We need to give her a setting or a place for her to exist. So this is your opportunity to think bigger than this person. So if this person's an artist, I could possibly paint her in the Kiffin art room, since she's supposed to be an art teacher. I could also think about some things that I like to do or where I like to make art. So maybe I'm thinking of painting a picture in the mountains. So I have my easel set up, and I'm going to have my background be one of my favorite places to paint and make art, which is the mountains. I'm going to pick it up so you can see. So there's my little, my canvas and my easel. There's my background and my setting. I could even go even more above and beyond, would be adding details, guys, like trees, adding a cityscape in the background, adding details so that you're inviting the viewer to look a little bit longer at your art. They're not just like, I get it, it's a blue sky with clouds. Sure, fine, that's great. If you're adding more and more details, people are gonna wanna stop and look a little bit longer. So I'm adding extra details. After this, your next steps will be to trace with Sharpie. And once you're done tracing with Sharpie, I want you guys to use markers, except I don't want you to just use any old marker technique. I want you guys to practice what is called your lawn mower markers. And a lot of students will know what lawn mower markers are all about, but I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of a refresher or a reminder of what lawnmower markers are. So I'm just going to start to trace some of my Sharpie so I don't lose those details I was working on. Because sometimes, just like with paints, details can get lost if you color over them with marker. So if I'm going to start, let's say, with my green Starbucks apron, I Sharpied most of that part. So if I'm going to make sure to get myself a green marker, ooh, this is a fun green. And remember, what's nice about the markers is that the lid will never get lost if you keep it on the back. I'm going to tilt the screen so you can see my lawnmower markers in action. So when I'm doing my lawnmower markers, I'm going to start to think of it like a lawnmower. I'm going to start with coloring the perimeter, which means I'm going to go around the edge of my lawn first. And notice I'm using the flat side of my marker. I'm not holding it straight up and down. I'm using it kind of sideways so that the flat part of my marker delivers the ink out. And then I'm just going to go in stripes or strips until I have covered the entire lawn or my apron that I'm coloring in. And notice how much quicker this goes. What I don't want to see is when kids are just scribbling it in, because that tends to leave a lot of white spaces and not make a really nicely well-crafted product. So what we're looking for is those lawnmower markers. I can kind of hold it up so you get a little better view. Covered in all those white spaces, really nice, tidy art making, because we're looking for a nice craftsmanship. We can tell that you took your time and really cared about your art, okay? So once you've filled in all those white spaces, you are good to go. I anticipate this taking you most of today and maybe even part of tomorrow. And if you have any questions, ask your sub. I'll see you guys when I come back. Bye.